We live in a world that sells comfort as success. If it's easy, it must be right. If it's hard, it must be wrong. But what if everything we truly want, confidence, strength, discipline, is buried under layers of intentional discomfort we keep avoiding? What if the real breakthrough isn't found in some life hack or productivity system, but in choosing one difficult day, one focused effort, where you stop running from the hard thing and finally do it? Most people don't change because they can't, but because they refuse to suffer just a little on purpose. We wait for clarity. We wait for momentum. We wait to feel ready. But the Stoics had a better question. Why are you waiting to act like who you already are? Here's what we often miss. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's a signal. It shows us where the resistance lies, and wherever resistance lives, growth hides right behind it. We often imagine that change comes in big waves, in a moment of crisis, or after some epiphany. But more often change is found in smaller places. In how you start your morning, in how long you stay with boredom before reaching for your phone, and how often you finish what you started, especially when no one is watching. Your mind isn't scared of work. It's scared of working without instant reward. Discomfort doesn't kill you. What kills momentum is the habit of flinching from anything that doesn't feel good right away. Let's talk brain science. Your brain has one job: keep you alive with as little energy as possible. That's why it gives you dopamine for shortcuts. Not for progress, not for impact, just for things that feel good right now. Scrolling, snacking, skipping the hard task, it all floods the brain with small hits of relief. Over time, your baseline shifts. Now, hard work feels painful. Silence feels like stress. Stillness feels like failure. Because the brain has learned relief is reward, and reward must come fast. But your mind wasn't designed for this world of constant stimulation. It was built for survival in the wild, not survival in a sea of algorithms, notifications, and sugar. So unless you intentionally reset the system, you stay stuck in shallow cycles that feel safe but cost you your potential. 2,000 years ago, long before dopamine was discovered, the Stoics already warned about this trap. Seneca wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than necessary." He was talking about the mind's tendency to invent problems and avoid imagined pain. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about things." Pain isn't just physical, it's how we label it. And discomfort, if labeled correctly, becomes fuel. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." He wrote that in war camps. Cold, tense, surrounded by betrayal, plague, collapse. He didn't wait to feel motivated. He chose to act. Because the work of a human being, he believed, is action, not excuses. And modern thinkers are echoing the same truth today. The reason you feel scattered, I sinned because you lazy, it's because your mind has been hijacked. Hijacked by cheap dopamine. Hijacked by apps that are engineered to feel more urgent than your own life. Hijacked by a culture that says, if it's uncomfortable, avoid it, when growth says, if it's uncomfortable, explore it. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's 96 chances to run away from boredom, purpose, and progress. We're drowning in distractions, but starving for meaning. Not because meaning isn't available, but because it's hiding behind effort, and effort feels foreign now. So what do? We start where we are. We stop waiting for the perfect system. We stop planning 30-day challenges we never finish. And we just win one day, one ordinary, difficult, unromantic day, where you do the hard thing, not because it feels good, but because you said you would, where you resist the urge to escape, where you sit through boredom instead of filling it, where you finish something. That's it, not to impress, not to post, just to prove something to yourself, that the real version of you isn't the one addicted to comfort. It's the one hiding underneath it, waiting to be uncovered through effort. Cal Newport wrote about deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. He says it's one of the most valuable skills in the modern world, and the rarest. Why? Because most people never spend more than 15 minutes with their full attention on one thing. Not because they can't, but because they've lost the mental endurance to stay. And the only way to rebuild it is to do the hard thing longer than your brain is comfortable with. That's the workout. That's the mental gym. Attention span isn't fixed, it's trained. So is resilience. So is confidence. James Clear said, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become." That means discipline isn't about outcomes. It's about identity. When you wake up early, when you finish your work, when you resist the scroll, you're not just being productive, you're becoming someone you trust. Because self-trust doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from integrity. Every time you follow through, you rebuild a connection with yourself. That's how confidence is formed, not through success, but through honesty. The most important shift you can make is this: stop trying to enjoy the hard thing. Start enjoying who you become by doing the hard thing. You won't always love the process, but you will respect yourself for not flinching. Let discomfort be the signal that you're finally stepping into the work that matters. Let silence be the space where your real thoughts rise to the surface. Let challenge be the teacher that softens your ego and strengthens your discipline. So what does one day of discomfort look like? Wake up without hitting snooze. Don't check your phone for the first 90 minutes. Move your body before your brain negotiates out of it. Do the hardest task first, no matter how messy. Delay gratification food. Screens, dopamine. Choose effort instead. Sit with stillness. Be bored. Focus for 45 minutes without escape. Finish what you started. Go to sleep tired from effort, not noise. Do this once. Then do it again. Not because it feels heroic, but because it creates evidence. And that evidence rewires your mind to seek depth, not ease. When Marcus Aurelius said, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, remind yourself, I rise to do the work of a human being." He wasn't writing poetry. He was writing survival instructions for the soul. Stoicism isn't about emotionless endurance. It's about voluntary hardship, chosen discomfort, and deliberate restraint, because the cost of avoiding pain is far greater than the cost of facing it. Pain fades. Discipline remains. Discomfort passes. But the mindset it leaves behind the identity, it rewires you forever. So if you've been waiting for motivation, for clarity, for the right mood, for the perfect energy, stop. Because the version of you you've been waiting to become is already here. He's just buried under the habit of escape. Dig him out. Not someday, today. Start with one hard day, then another. That's how it changes slowly, brutally, beautifully. Not because it's easy, but because it's yours. If this resonated, don't just hear it. Live it. And if you know someone stuck in the cycle of comfort, send this to them. Because one day of discomfort can unlock a future they've stopped believing in. This isn't theory. It's training. And the time to begin is now.